What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel House of the Dragon Season 2, episode number 5. And holy shit, that last episode was absolutely insane. And yes, I am classifying it as the first true rider dragon versus dragon fight, because the situation with the Night King, I don't count that because that wasn't a true, Night King and an undead dragon. And then the whole Luke situation, that wasn't really much of a fight. But massive shout out to everyone that dropped into the comments and came into support for Nikki, because obviously she doesn't like when the dragons fight and all that stuff.
I know they're not real, but the way they portray them is just like, you love them so much. And thank you guys so much for always having my back when I cry about the animals and even dragons. I really appreciate you guys.
Where we go from here now, I am so curious. Is Aemon gonna take over? Is Aegon dead? I'm gonna say no until I see just the way the whole situation, like that end scene ended with Sunfire sitting there, kind of like curled around him. I feel like there was some protection being done there. I don't know if he dies later. I don't know how he survives that whole situation.
I would imagine if he's dead that he would still want to protect Aegon, like his body, like, and be sad, like, you know, my rider, he's dead. Or if he's alive, also protection. I don't know what this is like. It looks like a situation where he 100% should have died. But again, like, he got burned multiple times. And I mean, Aemon, like, holy shit, like, he had no regard at all for his bro. And he was just like, give zero fucks.
It just goes back to that one scene where he humiliated him, and that was probably sitting in the back of his mind at some point. But holy shit, twice.
I'm sure he's holding grudges. For sure.
Plus, it's like, if he's out of the picture, does that mean he gets to just slide right into the spot and be the one making the decisions? I think yes. But again, I'm not going to call him dead until they show us. I'm going to side on the whole idea that he survived that situation and that Aegon is going to make it through this. Maybe not long term, but at least in the short term, I feel like he's going to get through this moment. I mean, losing Rhaenys is pretty insane. I mean, you kind of felt that coming the moment she volunteered herself for this situation. And
I was hoping for the best.
It felt like a situation where I think she understood what the mission was, because she had an opportunity to leave. And based off of y'all, because I mean, we don't have a huge knowledge and information on the dragons. Apparently, Meleys is faster than Vhagar and was able to get away if she needed to. And she decided to turn around and, like, the job's not done, I got to go back and fight, versus retreating and maybe hitting a reset. Yeah, I mean, that whole situation was tough.
Just the way that Meleys looked back at Rhaenys, like, this is happening.
Yeah. I mean, they have a bond. And another thing that I kind of forgot, which, again, thank you, y'all, for reminding, like, all these dragons are related. And before all of this...
Yes, I forgot to mention that also.
Like, that's the other really fucked up aspect of this whole thing. Like, obviously, families fighting, but the dragons are family as well, and being put up against each other and being used as these weapons against other people, where the whole situation, like the whole episode and the thought and just where this is going, the Dance of the Dragons and all that stuff. Yes, very obvious that once we get to Game of Thrones, the main show, there's no more dragons for a reason. And we're seeing that play out now.
Oh, God.
And it's just one of those things where it's so brutal.
I don't even want to think about, like, what happens to the other. I don't want to.
I have a feeling we're going to get there.
Ignorance is bliss.
Yeah, exactly. But what is going to be the result of Rhaenys' death? I mean, how is Corlys going to respond to this? How is Rhaenyra going to respond to this? Because I feel like, obviously, their relationship started off a little rocky, I feel like, at the very beginning.
Right,
but they really grew.
Built a bond.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
Like, she was always there to help Rhaenyra and gave some pretty...
stick up for her.
Yeah, gave some strong advice, I feel like, and helped where she could.
Back her up.
So I feel like it's going to be a big loss, for sure, for Team Black, and we'll see where that goes. I think this is obviously a huge W for Team Green, without question. Because if Aegon is removed, it does put Aemond in position. And regardless of what your feelings are of Aemond and Cole, they came up with a really strong plan.
Yes, 100%.
That strategy and the plan, if Aegon never showed up just out of nowhere trying to prove himself because of the conversation that he had with his mom. I think that plan would have worked flawlessly and it would have been exactly what they wanted. I mean, just the idea that Vhagar was just sitting, most stealthy giant dragon ever. Just the fact that you could hide in the woods like that, and that was just, she was just there ready to go when they needed her, and they needed her, they did their damage, and Aemon just did his thing, and so insane. So if that puts him in a position of power now, I think that puts them in a really strong spot because he's really smart. He proves to be very strategic.
He wants to fight. He wants war. He wants to kill people.
Yeah, and the idea of Cole, who you got to give props where props are due, and I'll give him his props. I think he's easily become one of the easiest characters to hate in this show.
Yeah, but they totally writ him so well like that.
But you got to give him props because he did a really strong thing in terms of what's best for his side, and we'll see where all that goes too. And I mean, Daemon, he's going crazy over on Harrenhal, and he's trying to get some forces together. And it feels like he's got some commitments potentially while he's out here friggin' tripping his brains out. Just Haunted Mansion, just so insane.
All right, Hill House.
But, I mean, is it too late now at this point? I don't know what their options are. I don't know what Rhaenyra's plan and what her options are when she gets the news of this.
Right.
Because they lost Rook's Rest, and obviously it wasn't like a big key place. But because of the location, it was very prime for certain other things. And that's why Aemon and Cole decided to go there and take it over. But Rhaenyra is going to have to step up at some point and make some pretty strong decisions and get really aggressive here because they're kind of getting their butts kicked. I don't know how long Daemon's going to be gone, how long it's going to take him to build this army that he's going to bring and support. There's a lot. And obviously, what is Alicent's response going to be to what happened to her kid? Obviously, she gave him a very difficult conversation, and sometimes those conversations need to be tough. Sometimes the answer is do nothing. The more experienced, knowledgeable people are handling it. You are in a position, like obviously they really haven't done a great job of preparing him to be a king and a ruler. I don't think they really had a lot of plan for that. But even still, he hasn't proven to care that much. No. He shuts everyone down. No. He's like twirling the ball. He called everyone boring and like wanted to get them all removed.
A good leader is willing to learn more and take criticism and all that. You can't do that.
He's young, but still, I mean, everyone in this world, when they get put into a position of leadership, is young. And he just hasn't...
he can be manipulated by everyone around him.
But on the flip side, like, he just hasn't put a lot of effort into improving from my point of view. Just his desire to feel like he's needed and to have people listening to him because, I mean, he puts out a certain aura and people respond to him a certain way. Like he's a joke and he doesn't take anything serious. So it's hard to take him serious when he's sitting on the throne with his drinking buddies and just screwing around or going to a brothel with his literal Kingsguard, getting drunk, clowning on his brother. Like there's just so many examples of him not showing the proper effort, which is why I think Alicent was so harsh with him. It's like, oh, you think you get a crown, you suddenly become knowledgeable and know what to do. That's harsh, but it's also true. So we'll see what Alicent's response to all this is, how she handles the whole thing with her kid getting, again, I don't think he's dead. If he does die, that would obviously take things to another extreme, but just getting absolutely jacked up and going into that war without telling anyone, unprepared and drunk, it just seems like a really bad idea. There's a lot of moving parts, obviously. There's stuff that we didn't even talk about.
I know. You can't talk about everything in the intro, right?
Yeah, ready to check it out?
Yes.
Let's go.
So beautiful. Aww.
Damn, dude.
The traitor dragon Maylis!
Are you serious? Are you gonna drag her through the...
By your king to Aegon!
That's bullshit.
This is a black omen.
This is supposed to get the people on their side?
Don't they realize we won the battle?
Strange victory, if it was one.
I assume that Aegon was in the box.
Rhaenys. They wouldn't drag a king in a box like that.
They don't want the people to see him.
It's just me.
Holy shit. They still have the fucking rat catchers up there? What the hell, dude? And Aemon has the dagger now, too. Feels like an Anakin Skywalker situation. If he's alive, you gotta put him back together somehow.
Right? They're gonna turn him into the mountain. I guess it is him then.
Does this mean he's dead?
No way.
What the hell? This is wild.
It is. Oh dear.
Is he alive?
Speaking of Anakin.
Remains with us for the moment.
Wow. Oh shit. Yeah, they gotta get the armor off of him. And everything's probably like burnt
His
to
skin
his
is
skin.
yeah, his skin is burnt to it.
Oh my god.
That's infected for sure. That's not sanitary.
Is my son going to die?
I'm afraid I cannot say. If you'll excuse me, Your Grace, these next hours are most critical.
Oh, oh shit.
Oh mother. Oh god. Ugh. Ugh.
Someone will have to rule in his stead.
He goes straight there.
Yep.
First question has to be, why the fuck was he in battle?
We took the castle at the cost of some 900 men.
Jesus.
I left a meager garrison behind to protect it, and the king's dragon, Sunfire, was long in the dying.
The king, Sir Kristen, what befell him?
Your other son?
His grace fought valiantly.
And Aemond? What was his part in this?
Well,
I could not say.
yeah.
Our largest dragon has been killed. Kristen Cole marches about the Crown Lands unchallenged. We still have no ground army but the one we hope that Daemon will raise. He who has left us after some marital spat.
All right. Just throw some shade, dude.
You take issue with me, Sir Alfred,
My loyalty to you is proven, my queen.
but your willingness to give me deference in a time of war.
I could never doubt your capability or your quickness of mind. It is merely that the gentler sex, heretofore, has not been much privy to the strategies of battle or their execution.
There has been peace in our lifetime. You've seen no more battles than I have.
Yeah, bitch. Yeah. What's your excuse now? Get him, Rhaenyra. Get him.
Vhagar is depleted after such a hard-fought battle.
If Aegon is dead, we will soon know it.
Should be a victory in name only. Time is ripe. If we can strike King's Landing before their dragon is recovered.
Then I myself must do it.
My queen, you are the crown. It is out of the question.
It's tough.
Yeah.
You're kind of out of options, right?
I mean, I get both sides. We can't risk you dying, but we also need you to show your strength. I love that she's like, we've seen the same amount of battles there, bud. We've seen the same amount of peace. Come at me with a new angle.
They just really need Daemon to get back.
Where are you going?
To Harrenhal to treat with the Daemon. He must affirm his loyalty to my mother and report his standing.
And you think you will tame him?
My mother gladly sends you away. Whilst I'm here being forced to play the coddled princeling, it's humiliating.
You are the succession.
And I must be seen to act for her claim and mine.
Oh no, he's gonna go rogue and do something without her knowledge.
Great.
I must act the phrase.
Uh-oh.
They control the crossing at the Twins. Cregan Stark's Greybeards are marching south. If his men had a direct route into the Riverlands, we would not have to wait for Daemon to act. I will treat with the phrase to secure it.
She will not like it.
I don't trust the phrase as far as I could throw them. At least the ones we knew.
I mean, Rob kind of fucked that up, but...
Yeah, well.
You leave one wolf alive.
The hour is late. My dragon is hungry.
The sheep are never
You
safe.
have no choice but to submit.
I love his dragons so much.
Renounce the false King Aegon as a usurper. Bend the knee to me.
Just happen to have a dragon
Your
here.
house burns.
Yep.
I would sooner be the Lord of Bones and Cinders than bend my knee before some heathen Blackwood.
Oh shit, you done said the wrong thing.
Brackens were a people hatched out of the deepest of the seven hells. Be a kindness to oblige them and send them back whence they came.
Did your brother's head keep on its way back to you, Willem?
Oh
I
god.
heard the maggots got to it.
Oh fuck this guy.
We choose fire.
Oh god. Oh, not the horses. Let the horses go though.
Wow, what a shot.
I love this so much. What happened?
I did not think they would be so eager to die.
Oh, he killed him.
Oh my god.
You should have indulged them. I need them alive. I came here to raise swords.
Oh,
not
no, he
corpses.
didn't.
They would rather burn than succumb. Exactly the kind of men I need. May yet be possible, I think, for both of us to achieve our ends.
We have fought them for an age and more.
Then perhaps you could try less fighting and more persuading.
Every man has a weakness.
You take my meaning, then.
Oh.
There are things the crown itself must not be seen to do. Show them your worst.
I am your servant, your grace.
Show them your worst.
By the way, every time we see Daemon in that armor, that shit is dope.
It's real slick. It's awesome. And on his dragon, stop it.
Best dragon, best armor. Craziest mofo in the show.
Over the centuries, many and more armies have broken themselves against my bloody gate. The Eyrie itself is impregnable, unless, of course, we're descended upon from the sky.
Did the friggin' hole in the floor exist back then?
The moon door.
She sent two, both still wet from the egg. I have hunting hounds that are more fearsome.
They are dragons nonetheless. I do not recall you specifying the size of the beast in your request.
Ooh.
The dragons will grow in time.
I don't have time. I mislike feeling powerless.
She's fun.
Kristen Cole made a mistake, parading a dragon's head through the streets like a prize of war. But the people see an ill omen.
Yes, as do I.
Bread is scarce. The king has fallen. They whisper to each other that when Viserys lived, there was peace.
But will whispers tear down stone or break shields?
God, that's a cool shot right there.
They are 1,000 living in the shadow of the Red Keep and forgotten for too long.
And you think they will turn to me?
To the discontented, rumors are feed.
It's true.
What you cannot do, let others do for you. There is more than one way to fight a war.
True that.
Very Obi-Wan Kenobi right there.
I know, right? Sorry.
I forget the dragon's name. Was that Balerion?
Did your grandmother ever tell you of the night she claimed Melees?
She snuck into the dragon pit.
She knew that place better than any elder. They said she could see in the dark.
My father was furious. His own mother's dragon, the fastest beast ever known, and she'd have none of him. But bent her neck to Rainey.
She was fierce. In love and in anger. She did not always care for me. For what she gave me in the end. I'm grateful.
The queen that never was.
With her gone, I must rely on you, I think.
Your Grace.
Would you give this to your grandsire? I do not wish to stand alone.
Daemon.
Oh boy, here we go.
Daemon. You were always the strong one.
finest swordsmen.
She looks familiar.
The fearless dragon rider. Jacaerys was unsuited for the crown, but you, Daemon, you were made to wear it.
Okay, if he's been tripping this whole time, what is he actually doing?
Right?
If only you'd been born first, my favorite son.
Oh, my good lord.
Whoa, dude. That's his mom?
Is the duck not to your liking, Your Grace? There's also goose.
What the fuck, dude? Oh my god. Dude, that place is fucking with his head so bad.
How does the work here progress?
Oh,
It doesn't?
drawing water for the kitchens and lighting the forges.
Very well.
That is merely the beginning, of course. The roof alone has needed tending since the reign of Aegon, and the storerooms and the whaling tower. The bats have made the corridors almost impassable with the quantity of
their shit.
Guano! Sorry.
There's, of course, the matter of payment. Larys transferred his family's wealth to King's Landing.
Is there any gold left in your coffers?
Enough to keep this small establishment, you see, fed and warm.
You should address me as my king.
But you're the prince.
What would you call the husband of the queen?
Well, the king.
There it is, then.
Consul.
Oh.
That last bit seems unnecessary, don't you think?
I fucking love Daemon. I swear to God. Matt's doing a great job.
I mean, he's a problem.
His Grace suffered grievous burns over much of his body. He has many broken bones. I fear there are more injuries within. Injuries we cannot see.
That's awful.
Has he woken?
I'm not sure he will ever wake.
That's wild.
Is she gonna pull a Cersei?
King cannot rule in his sleep. The realm will have noticed his absence. Let them hear of his great deeds at Rook's Rest. But now we must name a regent to take his place, until he recovers. Or does not.
A regency will assure the people of the stability of the crown.
I mean, it has to be Aemond, right?
I myself served in this role of my husband. I am well prepared to do it again.
You played your part admirably in a time of peace, Your Grace, but circumstances have changed. The obvious choice is his immediate successor, Prince Aemond.
Agreed.
Oh, they want him, though.
I am no stranger to rule or to sitting at this council. Aemond is a fearsome dragon rider. His skill is best employed in the field, but my experience is needed here, at this table.
No offense was meant, Your Grace, but at a time when we must show strength. I agree, Your Grace. It must be Prince Aemond. What would it say if in response to Rhaenyra's crowning we raised up a woman of our own?
Isn't that why we're in this problem to begin with? Because they didn't want to crown Rhaenyra?
Right. You're not getting that booty anymore, dude. Just let it go.
Aemond is the next in line. It must be him.
Yep.
Allison's gonna flip out, I feel like.
It's agreed, then.
Let me take my rightful spot. Look at him. Smug.
I think he's actually really good in this role.
No, I agree. Don't get me wrong. I think he just takes it right away. She's pissed.
Of course she is. She thought everyone was gonna be like, yeah, it should be you.
Oh, she's breathing heavy.
How I can trust the counsel of a man who leaves the jewel of the Riverlands to be plucked by our enemy.
Hear her breathing more than their conversation.
Mm-hmm.
Many are fleeing the city, spreading word of their fear and unrest.
This is such a good shot right now.
The gates be closed. No one is to leave or enter save with our consent.
Do you think she understands now what Rhaenyra is going through? Just being fucking ignored?
Someone cut down the fucking rat catchers.
Thank you for that.
Jesus.
Oh, the puppy's still there. follows.
Aemon is the next in line. It is the order of things.
You know what he is, what he has somehow become. Has your loyalty faded, or does it flourish only at night and flee the sunrise like a moth?
Ooh.
What I saw at Rook's Rest.
What?
Their armor melted. There were men walking, they were on fire.
We have given the war to the dragons.
The dragon rider should lead us.
I mean, dude literally touches a shoulder of armor to just no person inside.
So you cast me aside?
Have I not spared you? What we must do now is terrible. Will you preside over it? Is this who you are, Alison?
I did not ask to be spared. I did not give you leave to speak my name.
I'm on Cole's side on this one.
Yeah. Same.
I feel like I've defended Allison a lot through her behavior, but her not being able to understand the circumstances. I mean, not being there to see what actually happened is what Cole saw was very impactful.
They're not letting anyone leave.
By order of Aemon Targaryen, Prince Regent and Protector of the Realm.
Aemon.
Does he mean the king?
Oh no.
Our Lord Grover Tully has not declared for Rhaenyra. Means death to bear steel against your liege, as I'm sure my prince is aware.
Jason Lannister is marshalling to the west. We need to check him before he reaches River Run. That requires passage.
And if Stark's army's too slow, the wind's rising, winter's nigh upon us.
Winter is coming.
Relying on another Stark army to roll through there. History repeats itself.
What do you want?
Larys Strong has been relieved of his castle. Does the
God.
Queen intend to raise up a new lord?
You want Harrenhal?
Can he give that up without proper authority?
My mother will want more than your crossing. Bent knees.
That's a cool meeting area.
Right? Was it ye shall not pass? That was my interpretation of a southern and like ye and y'all. Yeel. I don't know, never mind.
I hear strange things from Brackenland.
There's news then.
No, what I hear in the wind. Cries of anguish. Children being taken from their mothers, men coming home to find their doors unlatched, their wives carried away.
The Brackens had their chance to do as I required. They will perhaps think better of their decision if their children's lives are staked on it.
Oh shit. That's what he did.
That fool Aegon is unlike to survive. The realm will suffer if Aemon One Eye rules.
Aemon One Eye.
I'm sure your tactics are, after all, approved by the Queen.
Ooh. Sore subject?
When I take King's Landing, Rhaenyra is welcome to join me there and take her place by my side.
Damn! He sucks.
And if you lose?
Then I'll be dead. And none of this will be my problem.
It's a pity, don't you think, that you never knew your mother?
Ooh. Yeah, she knows what she's doing.
I thought Aemon was all about Rhaenyra taking over.
Daemon.
Yeah.
Brackens and Lord Amos has pledged his banner to you. House Bracken is yours.
Queen Rhaenyra wishes to name you Hand.
Even the death of my wife does not content her. Has she not asked enough of my house?
It is a sign of her great esteem.
Or does she think the position will compensate me for my loss?
I know.
Rather, I would sail into the west and be lost.
You have done so before, at great cost to yourself and those who loved you. Rhaenys was not only your wife, not a thing to be taken from you. She was a Targaryen princess. The queen who never was, and she flew to Rook's Rest of her own will, in defense of her king.
And she died.
She died as she would have wished to die, with honor, in Dragonfire, the way my mother chose. And the way I myself wish to meet my end.
I love her. Bela is doing so good.
I grieve my grandmother who loved me, but I carry her on with me. I will see Rhaenyra ascend the Iron Throne, as Rhaenys wished, as Rhaenys herself should have. You yourself may do as you see fit.
That was awesome.
I love her.
I would make you my heir.
I am blood and fire. Driftmark must pass to salt and sea.
Wow. That was a kick-ass moment for her right there.
Seer must begin here with a lesson in etiquette. Failing that in proper fear of your Targaryen master. Is there some reason you feel free to wake a king in his bed?
House Bracken have been brought to heel at the hands of Willem Blackwood. There have been complications.
The sacred steps on Bracken lands were looted and burned.
As were the fields and farms.
These beasts proudly carried the banner of House Targaryen. Red dragon on black.
Oh.
A terrible war is being fought in these lands. Have you looked after our girls?
He's tripping.
We should have expected nothing more from a man who ordered the slaughter of a child in his mother's arms.
Oof.
That is a lie, and I will have the man who told it brought before me.
Oh, your man is half the kingdom, my prince.
The Riverlands are an ancient place, watched closely by the eyes of old gods and new.
Did he do something that he doesn't realize?
We shall not raise our banners for a tyrant.
That transition. I think
he's gonna accept?
I do.
That is an awesome shot right there.
Was it worth the price?
Yikes.
I feel like there's some deeper meaning to her asking him that question than just...
Oh, 100%. She doesn't speak, you know, there's meaning with whatever she says.
More than just surface level.
Yes.
Like, you almost killed your brother, and he probably might die.
What do you say?
Mommy. She generally is never there when he needs her.
She's not there for any of her children.
But, I mean, it's definitely a brutal mother-child relationship for sure. Especially after the conversation last episode.
Visenya.
Vhagar's first rider, and the first wielder of Dark Sister.
I hope you do not mean to use her as an example.
Why shouldn't I?
It was a long time ago.
What is the mood at the Twins? Did his lordship quibble?
He wishes for the phrase to be granted Harrenhal.
I'm proud of you, Jace. You've done our cause a great service. You chafed at being prevented from action. Imagine my lord. I'm a dragon rider as well, with a war being fought over my ascension. And yet, I must wait here.
Yeah, she wants to get involved. That'd be so frustrating.
You are the queen, the tie that binds us. No harm can come to
And
you.
you are my son, and I did not give you leave to go.
You do not give me leave to go to anything. But who else is there? Rhaenys is dead and Baela cannot bear the burden alone.
And when Aemond comes hunting for you, your dragon is young. Will you fly before Vhagar as Luke did?
Shit.
I know.
Is Aegon dead?
Dead or alive, we have no answer for Vhagar. Aemond will not wait long to press his advantage. And then what? Vhagar is big, but Syrax is quicker.
So was Meleys.
Meleys fought 2 dragons and one of them is slain. Shall I fight for my birthright, or shall I wait here until we are all destroyed?
I think you just gotta do it. I think you just stop talking about it and just do
dragons? We have no dearth of dragons. We have two large enough to stand against Vhagar. They are called Vermithor and Silverwing, and they sleep just beneath our feet.
Oh, Vermithor's the one that's currently the second biggest. Is it Balerion? The one that's underneath and skeleton?
That sounds familiar.
There are those of our line who never ruled, those who married into other noble houses. A generation ago or more, blood would be thin. And yet...
Dragon will only accept a dragon lord to ride it. Are you suggesting we put a Malister on a dragon? A Tarly?
It's better than death and defeat.
I like this kid.
There are records here, surely, of our line and of those who fell out of it.
Ugh, good luck finding that. Jeez.
There could be scores of them.
It's a mad sword.
Oh my god.
I mean,
Who's got the ladder?
You're kind of at a loss right now, right? I mean...
Is that the end of the episode?
Ugh. I mean, what other options do you have at this point, right? Unless you go try to get Vermithor, right? Is that the dragon? Like, if I'm getting my dragon history correct, because I said in the last episode, the second largest current active dragon passed away with Meleys. But Vermithor is the actual second largest, but has no rider, so didn't count that dragon. But they gotta find somebody to go ride those two dragons that don't have riders currently.
It's crazy.
I was thinking that Rhaenyra was gonna be like, I'll try and get...
I don't, can you ride multiple dragons?
I mean, it happened, I feel like it happened at some point. Oh, it was Daemon who was singing to, I think it was Balerion in earlier season or middle of season 1.
Mhm.
Remember when he was singing to the dragon? Like, that was kind of dope.
It was.
So I don't know how that works if the bond gets kind of severed or whatever. But I mean, that's a lot of scroll.
You can't love two of us.
That's a lot of scroll and a lot of history digging to try to find. That just seems like a insane task under the current circumstances.
Right.
But again, they're so limited in terms of what they can do because Daemon's off doing his thing at Harrenhal, and there's just the fact that he now revealed his new plan that Rhaenyra can join him. It's
I
like,
know.
wait,
That was
what?
fucked up. That was real fucked up.
That
Like,
kind of came out of nowhere, I feel like.
I'm the king. If she wants to join me as the queen, that's all well and good. You know, she has the ability to do that, but this is what I'm doing.
I always felt like he was in full support of her taking that spot and him being there to support her, but now it feels like
The
things
more
have
they
shifted.
fought, he just, no, I'm going to go do it.
And I feel like the
myself.
more time away, the more just, I mean, he's going through it there. I mean, his brain is getting twisted. He had a sex scene with his friggin' mom. Like, holy shit, dude. And then the fact that Alice is like mentioned his mom, just
And that's why I think Alice is.
yeah, she definitely is. Everything that's happening at Harrenhal is like, what's real, what's not, what's in his head, what isn't, what. It's like, is this whole thing even happening? Has any of it happened?
Is he just been asleep this whole
Yeah.
time?
Or dead, because it was mentioned when he was standing at the tree, like, this is where you die. Like, who knows what's going on with Daemon? I don't feel like we got a clear answer to any of that. But, I mean, Aegon, holy shit. Regardless of what team you're fighting on, you don't want to, and nobody wants to go through that. You don't want to see someone go through what he's going through right now.
No.
Like, being burnt up like that, having all the broken bones, because they don't obviously have good medical care. They're like, he might have injuries on top of injuries inside of his body. You don't know what the hell's going on inside.
Honestly,
That
I
is
feel like you
wild.
should have just let him die. Like,
I mean,
it put me out of my misery.
and the fact that he
Please.
called for mommy as Alicent's walking out. I think Alicent is in a really interesting position because I feel like she was all confident, being like, I'll be the one to sit at the head of the table.
Like,
and
it's no problem.
I've done
I'll
this.
do it. You guys don't even have to ask me.
Yeah.
I'll do it.
I've been there. I've done it. But they're like, you did it during peace. There was no issues. We're in a big conflict. We need someone who's a dragon rider because basically what Cole's like, we gave the war to the dragons. We need a dragon rider to be in charge. And I mean, Aemond being that person to sit in that spot, I think it makes sense.
It does make sense.
He's a really smart dude. He's got the biggest dragon in the world. And he's not just he is super ruthless, but he's very strategic. He obviously works really well with Cole. It just seems like a no-brainer if you're Team Green that you want these two to be in a position of power together so that they could accomplish the missions that they need. I'm wondering how long Vhagar is out for, because they kept talking about like, oh, she's hurt and she's out of combat. And because she did get fucked up. Like there was a moment where Meleese looked like she had an upper hand on her for a moment until Aegon showed up. But like, how long does it take for a dragon to heal? And I think he's gonna thrive in this spot.
Yeah.
I wonder how much it's gonna go to his head in terms of the power.
Oh, it's already been.
But like making bad decisions.
Oh.
I feel like he's made some really strong decisions for their situation.
And he can just like do whatever he wants.
Even
if it's bad.
Now, he locked the gates. Which
that's fucked up. Like
I don't agree with that part.
People are literally starving to death.
Yeah. Like that aspect of it seems a little unnecessary and ruthless. I don't know if there was a conversation. I don't know if we missed it, but I don't know the thought. I don't know what the thought process is behind that, but I do like that he finally pulled the rat catchers down. Like that was a display that did not need to be there anymore. Like it didn't need to happen in the first place.
That poor puppy.
But him being in charge with Cole being the hand, I think that's a really strong combo for Team Green, because regardless of what your feelings are of them, they get things done. And Aegon threw a big wrinkle into their plan by showing up on his dragon. I think the two of them work really well together. I think they're very like-minded and on the same page.
Did he throw a wrinkle in there? Because did they intentionally want Aegon to show up?
I don't think so. That was I think the plan was to win the battle. Granted they did, but I think Cole said they lost 900 men. It would have been a pure sneak attack, easy kill for Aemond on Rhaenys if there was no other dragon involved, because Aegon showed up and you saw him get mad, like, ugh, like dang it, what are you doing? And even when somebody asked Cole, like, was this the plan? It was Alicent's brother.
Yeah.
He was like, no, that wasn't the plan. That's not what we want, because it screwed up. And Aegon is now potentially on his deathbed, and Vhagar is beat up real bad, and they lost a lot more men than they probably should have. But I don't know. It feels like them together is a really strong combination.
Well, Cole felt traumatized.
100%. Like anyone who saw what he saw on that battlefield should be.
Yeah.
Just the one soldier alone, the armor that he touched, and it was ash that fell. If you're a human, that shit will fuck you up horribly, because you're like, oh, we got to go find the king, and he like taps on someone, and they're just literal dust. Like that is horrifying. That thought.
Thanos of him.
Yeah. Exactly. That was just like what he went through. You could tell it's impacted him a lot.
Yeah, that's true.
And the fact that Alicent is just completely oblivious to it is, it makes sense until you see it yourself. It's hard to like really understand it. But just people screaming on fire, running around, like that scene was horrifying.
It was.
For everyone involved. And yeah, I get why Cole is behaving that way, but I think him and Aemond make a really good combo.
They do.
But Rhaenyra is going to have to step up big. She's going to have to make she's got to stop talking and just figure out how to get some action going. And I don't know if sending Homeboy to go talk to, to talk to Daemon is a great idea, because dude's in friggin' La La Land right now. And I just don't know if he's going to listen to anyone and take anyone's advice or suggestions or anything. Because who the hell knows what kind of state of mind dude's even in. So
true.
That was another really strong episode. I felt like that coming off of the war episode set a really strong foundation that's going to kind of push us into the next crazy shit of events.
I hope that Corlys is able to help too.
Oh, that was
so sad.
He was ready to bounce.
Yeah.
And Bela, rock star in this, like the stuff that she had to say was so good. That was powerful. It was friggin' chills. The message was really good, and I think it convinced him.
I love her.
I think he's going to take the hand. I think he's going to take the spot and realize I need to stay and fight and do this, and that's what Rhaenys would want and all that stuff. Like I thought that was his response was one that I was curious about to see how it was going to play out. He obviously was crushed. That was the obvious expectation. But what he was going to do, whether he was going to leave, get angry, want revenge, whatever. But it feels like he's going to stick around, take the hand, and help Rhaenyra. Which, good.
Rhaenys would help.
You need his help right now. You need everybody that you can get. And yeah, I'm heartbroken for him because
honestly, so sad.
That was especially like the interactions that they've had this season.
I know.
They were all really like nice and sweet.
They loved each other.
Yeah.
You could tell that they loved each other.
And just, that was just so brutal. Like, you knew it was going to be brutal. But again, a really good one. I think we're getting catapulted into some crazy shit coming up. That's kind of my prediction for the next episode.
True.
Any other thoughts?
Nope.
All right, y'all. You guys leave your comments, share your thoughts. See you guys later for the next one. Have a good one. Bye.